We all know extraordinary people who do extraordinary things. They may not be famous or wealthy or powerful, but they have a generosity of spirit and a capacity for love that is awe inspiring. Whether it's a friend who goes out of their way to help others, or a complete stranger who does something kind and unexpected, these are the people who remind us that there is still goodness in the world. Meeting ordinary people who do extraordinary things is always a special experience, one that inspires hope and reminds us of our own potential to make a difference. Join me in taking a deep dive into why these special individuals do what they do. There's no denying that the world could use more kindness, and it all starts with each of us. My name's Irene Meyer, and I'm here to deliver stories about regular people who do inspiring things every day. And everybody, thank you so much for joining us again. I have some two great guests on my YouTube channel right now, and I know you guys will get value from this. I really love these two individuals for really great reasons. Through my current job, that's how we really met. But we work really well together. We have the same mindset in terms of helping people, and we actually put our heart and soul into what we do in terms of work. But it's very interesting because although we serve the same people, we also serve different people at the same time, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to welcome Nicole Skiba from Eazy Peazy Downsizing and Jim Dhillon from
Remax Elite. Thank you.
Remax Elite. I know there's different teams, and we're all out of Edmonton, Alberta. And I really want to introduce these two, and it makes sense that we're working together. First, I'll just start getting into introducing them. First of all, maybe I'll start with Nicole, and then Jim, right after you can answer the same question. But basically, besides your name, who are you? What do you do with your business? How long have you been doing it? And why do you do what you do?
Yeah, there's a number of answers to all those questions, and I really love doing what I do. I realized that it was a need years ago when my dad needed to downsize. He was living in Manitoba. I was living in Alberta. I had two young kids at the time, a husband, a house, a career. And again, he was back in Manitoba. He had a stroke and he needed to move. And he didn't have really any good family support in his area. There were a lot of sleepless nights figuring out how I can help him. And of course, I went out there to help him, but didn't feel like I helped them as much as I needed to. And then I realized that this is going to be a need for a lot of people, that because a family lives farther away from each other and people want to stay in their home as long as they possibly can, that this was going to be a need. And the other thing is I'm a home economist. I graduated in the Faculty of Human Ecology from the University of Manitoba and in home economics. And that's what that is helping people to adapt to new environments. That's a lot of what it is. And so I specialized in the home and I worked in this area for the last 30 years. And then when I realized I wanted to do this kind of profession and open up my own business, I also became a trained professional organizer and did a lot of research in terms of finding resources out there to really help me do a good job. It was important to me not to cut any corners. And so I belong to something also called the National Association of Senior Move Managers. And that is an industry that specifically deals with this type of profession. So it now, so that's why I got into it. And now what I do is what Eazy Peazy Downsizing does is we work with older adults to help them downsize, move, reset up, and then help get their home ready for sale. And when we work with clients, they'll be that you every time you meet a new client, it's a different story, it's a different situation. Of course, it's a different house. So you have to meet the client where they're at and form a plan and figure out how you can best work with them and help them through their situation, get them to the place where they want to be. So it's a lot working with your clients. It's really listening to your clients very well because it's their house, it's their stuff. And it's important to me to not go in there and just tell them what to do. It's important to me to go in there and work with them and help them and get them to the place that they want to be.
Oh, amazing. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot more questions about what you do. But Jim, same question.
Yeah, so my name is Jim Dhillon. I'm with Remax Elite. I'm an associate realtor here, and I'm going into my 9th year. So it's flown by actually. 9 years has gone fairly quickly. I have a pretty diverse background in corporate life, and it's translated very well into real estate for sure. Now, the reason I like being a realtor, many reasons, to tell you the truth. One of the reasons is just helping people buy and sell homes and helping people get into homes that sometimes they've never thought they'd ever get into. Like when I was young, we didn't have a lot of money. My mom somehow got enough money together where she bought a home. It still blows me away, by the way, that she did it. She's an absolute superhero. And when I was young, I was like, I didn't really think about buying a house or even a nice car or anything because we just weren't in that position. And later on in life, when I did buy one, it was very emotional for me. It was a big achievement. And when I help other people buy homes, I want them to feel that way. I want it to be a big deal for them. And sometimes I'll be as excited as them, to tell you the truth, because I'm a very emotional dude. And that excitement always flows to me and it flows to them. And just what a big deal that is for them. And it's a real achievement in somebody's life. And I love that I can play a large part in that. Why I like helping seniors, and I hooked up with your organization there, Churchill Manor, is mostly because of my mom and dad. I was in a position with my mother mostly, that she was in a transition period. She was struggling a bit for health, and she lived in a 2-story house. And I was like, man, these stairs are getting hard for mom. And we talked to her all the time, and she didn't really want to move because she was like, I didn't really want to move. It's my house. And we were giving her options, but she wasn't really wanting to move, right? And the struggle that I went through, even bringing it up to her, right? And not really wanting her to feel like that I was pushing her into it, but she wanted to do it, getting her to that point and knowing that she's going to be, as a son's perspective, this is not hers, obviously, knowing that she's going to be safe and cared for, and that she's going to be okay and happy. There's nothing more than I wanted that my mom to be happy. And a lot of people, I think, are like that. And you only go through that. That's the only time my life ever went through it. So I didn't know quite how to handle it. And one day I came for a tour of your organization there, and I was like, man, this is really nice. You take care of everybody here. The staff cares about everybody here. I didn't realize this is what it was like, right? My mom thought she was going to a senior's residence and she was going there to die. She didn't see this part of it. And I was like, man, maybe I could help. My mom's gone now, but my friends are going through this. They're only going to go through it once. How can I help them? Because I'm very close and I love my friends. How can I help them get through it and show them things that I didn't know to help them get through this part of life? So I really do helping people transition for that reason. I met Nicole, and I have many people that, as a realtor, people think it's just about buying and selling homes, but there's so much more to it. There's a huge runway before we ever get to the purchase of the home or the sale of a home. And on that runway, there's a lot of twists and turns, right? And you might need a renovator. You might need somebody like Nicole to help you downsize. You might need somebody to stage your home. When you're buying, you're going to need a home inspector. You're going to need a lawyer, because in Alberta, you need a lawyer to do transactions for real estate. And having those connections and having good people, it's very important to me that they're good people is my number one concern. People like yourself, Nicole, and Irene. That's number one to me, that you're good people and you're going to take care of people. And having people like that I can refer out to people makes a huge difference for me. So that's why I like it. Yeah.
Sounds so interesting. When you guys are talking, I see why we actually all get along. And I don't know if you picked up on this, but the commonality was we all care very much for our own families. That's what inspired us to go out and help other families. I love it. And Yeah, it's really awesome. I could ask you, what is the biggest reason people need what you guys do? But I'm going to take that a little step further, okay? And make it about, why do people need you specifically? Because I'm sure there's a few people who are in downsizing. There's a lot of realtors out there, but why do they need Nicole? Why do they need Jim? Jim, if you don't mind starting this off, and yeah, let us know why people need you specifically.
Yeah, there's about 4,550 realtors in Edmonton, so there's quite a few. It's grown quite a bit over the last few years, and whenever the economy goes down a bit, more realtors sign up. It's something that people like, oh, I can do that. I've always thought of doing it. Now that the economy's down a bit, this is my chance to try it. The other thing that happens is when real estate sales go up, when the market gets hot, a lot of people sign up for real estate because they think it's an easy way to make money. I would say the number one reason I think somebody would want to work with me, and why my clients, everybody's welcome to go on my Google me and read the reviews. So why my clients say they like working with me, not why I think people want to work with me, why do they tell me they like working with me, is mostly because they know that they can trust me, right? They know that I will do the right thing for them. They know that when I'm working with them, it's a lifetime relationship. Okay, it's not a one transaction relationship. It's a lifetime. I'm going to meet them. They're going to buy a house with me. I'm going to help them maintain their house through the years. I know, like when I first bought I feel like everybody's like me. When I first bought my house, I wanted to maintain it. I wanted to take care of it, but I didn't quite know what to do or who to call. My wife would be like, get the furnace clean. And I'd be like, okay. And I'd be like, who do I call? And then a month had passed, 2 months had passed. I want to make it easy for people to maintain their house through the years. And then eventually, when they sell someday, they'll have a property that is marketable and that they can make more money on. My friends always ask me, what's the best way to add value to my home? And I always tell them, just keep it clean and keep it maintained. That's less than 10%. So when you have a house like that, everybody wants it and they're willing to pay a little bit more for it. So if I can help people do that, not just today, but through the years, and then eventually someday when they sell, that would be absolutely amazing, and create a bond with them. And sometimes I say we're getting into a lifetime relationship and they don't believe me, but they certainly believe me after spending a couple of days with me.
Oh, yeah. I can even speak just from watching you, Jim, you taking the time when you come to visit Churchill Manor and going to visit a couple of your clients just to say hello, like that. Yeah, it doesn't take much, but you also didn't have to, right? And you would take the time to go and knock on the door and just say hello. So I can definitely attest to what you say is keeping that bond going. Nicole, same question.
Yeah, so I would say the reason why people need to go with Eazy Peazy Downsizing or me is because, first of all, I'm in it to make a difference and I'm in it because I am passionate about it. One thing I did was, again, I'm a trained professional organizer and I belong to the professional organizers in Canada. And one thing I've done is I've started a national group within that association that deals with older adults, uh, that deals with people working with older adults and helping them to do exactly what I do, downsize. And what we do is we meet and we discuss about the relevant topics such as uh, dementia, ageism, just how to do our job better, things like that. And it's something that I wanted to start because it was important to me not only that I do my profession right, but that we do a great job overall and that we really that people within my profession make a difference and there's a lot of people that trust us. And so it's really important that we do a good job and that we take them to a better place. And so that is one reason. Another reason is because I try to network and make really good connections with people that can also support my clients other than Eazy Peasy Downsizing. So that would include Churchill Manor and people like you, Irene, as well as Jim and Remax Elite. And that makes a difference to me that I have a listing of really good contacts that I can provide to my clients. But I deal with a more, again, an older clientele, and it's important to me that they get treated really well with lots of respect and kindness. And one thing that I like, for example, about you two is that you tend to be able to just sit down and talk to people and that you can have a real conversation. And I know that if you walked into a house with one of my clients, I know I can completely trust you because I know you have really good values and you really good morals. So it's really what I strive for because I'm not only bringing myself, I'm also bringing a group of people that I refer. Because of course, when you're moving and downsizing, there is many different people that you need to deal with to help you through this process. And it is, again, it's important to me to have the right people in place. So that is, but it's not only that, it's junk haulers as well as it's house cleaners, it's landscapers. The people that I have, and I know they've been good to me as well. So yeah, I think those are a couple of reasons to do with Eazy Peazy Downsizing. I too like to stay in contact with my clients. Especially after we finish, sometimes we work with clients for 2 to 3 months and you're there a couple times or sometimes a few times a week because of course you're dealing with a whole house of contents and you're moving them and resetting them up and there can be a lot involved. And so you develop a really strong relationship, at least we do. We develop a very strong relationship, really good rapport with our clients because we go in there and we're working with them, we're working with their stuff. And again, it's important to me that the client always has lots of confidence when dealing with us because not only do you have a really good rapport, but they actually make better decisions for themselves when they have lots of confidence. You're able to inspire them that, okay, these are your parameters. This is the situation. Now, these are your options. What option works best for you? And they make really good decisions. And so when you're working that closely with your clients for so long and to maintaining a good rapport, you develop friendships and I love those friendships. And so what I always find is we always meet our clients always a couple times after we're completely finished dealing with them. And that's not only for them, it's for us too, because they fill our bucket. They're helping them fill our bucket. And so we need, again, if I saw them, when I see them, I'm always excited to talk to them and see how they're doing. But we always need a couple of, have a cup of coffee together or have a cup of tea together or meet just a couple times after we finish working with them, just to see how they're doing and to provide some closure. Because again, when you've worked this closely together for so long, you have to find the closure. Again, it's not that your friendship ends, but you need closure in terms of all this time that you've been spending together. Yeah.
Wow, what a really great point with closure. And you're right, like when your job is done, like physically done, and try to maintain the relationship for both of you. There's obvious benefits to your client. They feel good about it. You feel good about it. You said it fills your bucket. I love that. I guess in terms of like you guys come from I guess in an industry where you both pretty much collide at some point. I don't know actually how you guys met. Did you guys meet like at a networking event? And tell me what you guys realized about each other that you wanted to work with each other. Because I found it very interesting that Nicole told me about Jim. I'm like, yeah, I deal with Jim already. So it's so interesting that you guys crossed paths and I didn't know you guys knew each other. And I don't know if Nicole knew that me and Jim knew each other and vice versa. So tell me how you guys met and why you guys felt like it was fitting to work together and then you start collaborating together.
Oh, Jim reached out to me first, and I can't remember how that part all happened, how he found me, but at the same time when we met, I was very inspired by Jim. because he was just, again, he was just a person I could sit down and talk with. And I found him very informative and easy to talk to, but yet he is able to share a lot about himself too. So he's very confident, able to share a lot about himself. And I've learned a lot from Jim. One thing I learned from Jim was the importance of focus. I remember him telling me that good realtors really are focused and don't have their hands in many different things. They're full-time realtors and they care about what they do. And I know those aren't exactly your words, Jim, but it's something like that. But good realtors are focused. And it's funny because I'm reading a book right now, or I just finished reading it, and it's called Essentialism. And that is one thing they talk about in there as well, is the importance of being very focused. And I've had I've had options of things I could do other than being the CEO and founder of Eazy Peazy Downsizing. I've had other options, and I've brought myself back and I told myself, no, this is working. It's important to focus. That's what's going to help me, and that's what's going to help my clients. And I've always thought that was really good advice. And I think that's why I have a lot of respect for Jim. Very good at what he does.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Nicole. That was very kind of you. Thank you. I met Nicole, I heard of her, and that she does help seniors with downsizing and transitioning, not just downsizing, getting rid of your stuff, but actually transitioning to the next part of your life. And give her a shout to get together with her, just because I was hoping to do some kind of seminar where we could meet a group of seniors and I would tell them how I could help them with real estate and things that they would have to do to get ready when eventually they are ready to move on to the next part of their life. And Nicole would probably to be honest, she's got the most important part of that, is the downsizing and making sure that, because seniors have a lot of possessions, right? Making sure that their possessions are being dealt with, because they're typically moving to a smaller space and they won't have room for all that, right? There's a lot of emotions there, and you need a long time to achieve that, and dealing with their families and such. And then eventually where I could come in and eventually help them with the sale of their house. It's a real partnership, and I gave her a call to meet her to see if we would be a good fit together. It's very important to me that we're a good fit. I just don't work with anybody. I'm just not that kind of guy. I have to like the person. I want them to like me, and I want it to be somebody that I can easily work with, and if I do refer somebody to them, that they're not going to let me down or let my client down, and they're going to do the right thing for them. That's very important to me. When I met with her and we talked, it was obvious that she was that kind of person. She's a very kind person. She talks very calmly, which I like a lot. I'm emotional, so sometimes I can get a little bit excited. I won't lie. It's the best and the worst thing about me. And to have somebody like Nicole around that's calm, it offsets me a little bit. So I think that's amazing. And she also keeps me grounded as well because of her calmness. So I appreciated that about her, and I knew it was somebody I could work with right away. And I really wanted to do it with her, and as well as have her as somebody that I could collaborate with and refer to my clients, and that I knew that would take care of them. Yeah. Yeah. I hope that answers your question.
Oh yeah, totally. You both did awesome. And it kind of just brings me to my probably last question. You guys have both been so transparent with why you want to collaborate, and you've given me reasons on why really people should just collaborate. I think, and it has to be the right fit. And I just think it's so interesting that three of us are doing this, because when I think back to when I first met you, Nicole, when I first met you, Dim, I can resonate with everything you guys said about each other, about just wanting to feel comfortable. And if I'm putting my name to the people that I'm referring, I need to know that I would go to them myself, like for my own downsizing or real estate needs. And that's really what it comes down to. But I think there's just so much competition in the world today, and everyone's I shouldn't say everyone, but a lot of people are just trying to scratch their way to the top and not realizing that we could work together to all be successful. And even in totally different, I would say totally different industries, but in different types of work, we can still work together to achieve the same goal. And when the same goal is ultimately helping people, which because it fulfills not just other people's needs, but it also fulfills our innate needs, then really at the end of the day, why wouldn't you work together? I'm excited to hear a little bit more about your next project together and going forward, what you envision to see what you guys are doing together, maybe on social media, maybe on public seminars. Tell me a little bit about what you guys are planning to do together. And really at the end of the day, one of you guys can start. But yeah, I'm excited to hear your next project together.
Yeah, sure. I can start. The next thing we're doing together is actually another seminar. So it's a transition seminar for seniors, but it's not just for seniors. It's also for children of seniors and also people that are like my age, about 50, 55, that are maybe don't want to do the yard work anymore and they're looking for a transition as well. So there's really 3 different people that could come to this seminar. And like I said, people like me, also people like me that are children of seniors that want to help their parents. Typically, I find there's always one child that's helping the parent along and they're confidant and helping them with the decisions and the downsizing. It's for people like that. And then obviously the actual senior as well that is moving so they can feel comfortable. I know that seniors have to really trust somebody. Trust is huge for them. So it's an in-person seminar where they come meet us. We go through everything that they're going to have to do. And it's an educational thing. It's not about even them using us if they're not comfortable with us or using somebody else or going somewhere else, that's fine. It's an educational seminar where we're educating them on things that they need to pay attention to, pitfalls they might have, things that they can look forward to, and things that they need to be prepared for, and make sure that they're informed, because our number one goal, we've talked about this, I know, Nicole, our number one goal is to make sure that they're comfortable and that their transition is as smooth as possible. And education is a large part of that. Would that be accurate, Nicole?
Yeah, and by having a few professionals there that deal with the move and downsizing and selling of the home, they know where they can find trusted professionals to find out more information. And I think that's part of it, is because they need to get the information and then they need to know who to contact for more information. So I think there's 2 parts there. And of course, we're going to be at Churchill Manor on March 18th, which we're really excited for, Irene. And of course, then there's another seminar that we are planning in the future as well. Yeah. So it is a great opportunity for us. It's a great opportunity as well for clients who need more information and who are doing that transition.
Yeah, I think if I could add one thing, and Nicole made a really good point there, that what we're talking about is just generalities, and everybody's situation is different, right? And what everybody needs is a little bit different. Once they come to the seminar and they get an overview of it, then they specifically know who to call to talk about their individual situation. And then we can really customize for what they need, whether it's myself or Nicole or Irene, one of us will definitely help you out.
Well, I like that, customizable. Everyone is individual. Where can we find you, Nicole, in terms of contact? How can we contact you?
The best way to contact me is by phone. And so people can call me, and my number is, you can call it Eazy Peazy Downsizing at 587-598-61. Or you can always check out the website as well, which is easy with a Z, easypeasydownsizing.ca.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll definitely put your information in the show notes. How about you, Jim?
Thank
Where
you.
can people reach you?
Yeah, it's not hard to get a hold of a realtor, I'll be honest with you. There's many different ways you could call me. You can phone me 780-952-2995. You can email me, which I'm sure you'll throw up there. I'm on all over social media, Facebook at Jim Dhillon. Also, I'm on at Windermere Jim. You can get a hold of me on social media. You can email me, text me, send out a smoke signal. You'll find me.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I'm so blessed to have known you and get to know you even further as we move along this journey for not just us, but for the clients we serve. And for everybody else out there, I hope you got value. I hope you check out Nicole and Jim's next webinar soon coming your way. Just stay tuned to all of our social media, our websites, and you'll find more up-to-date information on how you can contact Nicole and Jim. Have an awesome day. Got you all. Bye-bye.
Hey, good afternoon.